everyone, and welcome to the Paranormal Pride. I hope everybody is out there is warm and safe and have a nice roof over your head. I know that the weather in parts of the country is really crappy. It's really cold here. I'm hearing that, Arkansas looks pretty bad from some of the slide-offs and stuff. So if you're out there, just be careful. And speaking of being careful, my guest is going to be late tonight because they have a flat tire and they're getting it fixed. So, and happy belated birthday, Steve Foster. So, but I did bring on a guest host tonight to help me with this because I had a feeling that there would be something that was going to go awry. So my guest host tonight is FJB, Frank J. Bennett. Welcome, Frank.
Hi. So like I'm the backup? What?
No,
the what?
You are not the backup. You are the co-host.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
Well, I know that.
Where's Ron?
Huh?
Where's Ron?
This is the Paranormal Pride. He's not usually on the Paranormal Pride.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting them all mixed up. I'm sorry about that.
Here. I don't say anything on this show, Frank. So, and hello there, Cheryl Ann Elliott Fletcher. Thank you for joining. And hello, Gary. So, and there's Ron saying hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So, my guest tonight is going to be Caleb Bartell. And he is, he's one of my guests for the first half. And he is a paranormal investigator, and he's related to a band called Ghostatic. And their lead singer is going to come on. And Caleb is a paranormal investigator, and the band Ghostatic does paranormal themed music. How's that for unusual? But a lot of music is paranormal themed anyway. So, but it'll be interesting. And then our other guest for this coming on around 7:30 is going to be Tammy Locke. And fun fact, her picture when she was on that show, The Monroes, looks like me when I was a little kid.
I'd sue for money.
Nothing I can do about that. But yeah, she sounds really nice. We did not talk personally. We just kind of sent messages back and forth. So I think it's going to be interesting to hear her stories, whatever they are. I don't know if she has any paranormal stories, but we'll find out. Won't we?
No, last time I talked to Tammy, last night before, she wanted me to refer her to a competent psychic. And I told her I got a couple people out in LA who are friends of mine, or legitimate psychics. They work with celebrities. Mm-hmm. But I'm having a feeling, talking to Denise tonight and everybody else in this field, you guys would know some more solid and down to earth and more reliable psychics.
Well, once I know a lot, but once I meet her, I can match her with the psychic medium she needs to talk to, because that's based on personality. Mm-hmm. There are some people that want a Vanessa Hogel, an effing psychic.
Yeah, but that's only because she's smoking frickin' hot.
Well, it's now, I've got her coming on in a couple weeks. She's moved down to Florida, and she's having a great time down there. She's lost some weight, being all active and stuff. Good for her. She's going to be a little bit further south of Florida. Further south in Florida than I'm going to be, but yeah, I got her on February 13th. But matching a medium to a person's personality, how do they need to hear it? Do they need to hear it? No BS. Exactly how it comes out of their somebody's mouth, or do they want it candy coated?
And some psychic mediums are more tolerant with people than other ones would be. Mm-hmm. Others that I've encountered are not pushy, and they're not always trying to insert. They lead you in and let you fill in some gaps, mm-hmm. and kind of let you acknowledge to yourself that's what it was.
Yeah. And so Vanessa's like that. So is Cheryl Ann Elliott Fletcher, who's in our chat tonight. So, like I said, and does she want a male medium?
Depends on how hot he is.
Well, see, that kind of makes a difference because I have a couple of those in my pocket as well.
Well, it is Hollywood.
Oh, I know. So, I mean, she can always go to Taylor or Tyler. What? No, I was gonna say Tyler Florence, but no, he's a cook. I forget his name, but he's on Netflix. My mother-in-law heard him say something, and she took it quite literal, and he said, "Go around your house and take pictures, and if you're getting orbs, it's more than likely, a spirit." And in her case, I have to say, her house is not dusty. She's not going to have dust orbs.
Yeah. Well, now,
but
a little bit of a warning about psychics and mediums is that qualified ones would have references.
Yes.
People you could pick up the phone and go, "Hey, how good were they? Did they do this, this, and this? How much did they charge you? Blah, blah, blah." And there's a portion of my first book, Encounter with the Aberdeen Wildman, where I'm talking about how Harry Houdini, more than 100 years ago, really went after psychics and mediums because he saw people getting bilked right and left.
Oh, yeah. That's why there's a law in England about some of that stuff as well. But no, right here in this book, I know you can't tell from all the pictures that are drawn on it now, but this is an interview I did with Vanessa. Clover Drew.
I can't see that.
I know you can't see that, but see the picture?
Oh my goodness.
Clover Drew over top of the interview.
That really looks like a map of Kansas City.
No, it could be, but no.
Congratulations, Kansas City.
Yep.
You finally beat the Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah.
There is no A. It is not a bracelet, people.
Yeah, but you go to Cincinnati, what are they saying? The Bengals.
Okay, well, then, you know what? Walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say. But, yeah.
Mahomes is the real deal. On a bad foot and everything. Real deal. And problem they're going to have with the Eagles is that their offensive line is larger than the Kansas City defense.
And they're healthier.
Yeah, that is true.
And you know what? The city of brotherly love, they hate everybody.
That is a sad fact.
It is a sad fact.
I filmed 3 movies in Philadelphia, and each time going there on set, you're not a novice. You don't go here, don't go there. But some folks, their definition of brotherly love wasn't quite what yours is.
No, it is not.
To some, it was like, give me some money. It was kind of like that. If you love me, give me money.
Well, and being from Maryland, we know that there's a love-hate relationship with everything. We love to hate everything Pennsylvania. It's just, especially Pittsburgh, but Philadelphia tends to be one of those same relationships. So it is not going to make a difference to me. I don't care. And so everybody out there, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't
think it's going to be a very exciting Super Bowl because Eagles have a ground game and they love the ground and pound, but Mahomes and his offense, they're high flyers.
They're going to have to figure out how to hand off the ball some more. But if you remember the last time the Chiefs was in the Super Bowl, it wasn't that great either.
Mm-mm.
But again, I'm not a football fan. And I'll tell you, we know this network is politics to paranormal and back and forth on that. The day that September 23rd, 2017, I stopped being a football fan. And
was that when the Ravens blew something?
That was when the Ravens decided to take a knee in London. Carl was there. He saw me get out of my car, take all the things off my car, because I had all kinds of magnets and stuff on my car that said Ravens. I took them off and I threw them in the trash because we were going to my daughter's baby shower. So I remember the day. I threw it all away. And I haven't worn any of my Ravens stuff since. I probably should sell it.
Exactly.
So
we're talking about millionaires. And if I'm getting paid $1 million to do something, I'm giving more percent than I'm allowed to. And honestly, there are some teams that phone it in.
So I'd like to say hi to Barbara, David, and cousin April. April, I hope you're warm up there. And David, I hope you're safe down there away from the ice and stuff. So and Barbara, we know you're fine. You're in Florida. So David's down there where the horrible weather hit, down on 49 and not too far from Bentonville, where the weather station has been focused on Washington County down there. So if I didn't know that highway like the back of my head, I wouldn't even know where it's at. But Ron's family's from down there in Washington County. So,
my wife and I were having a huge discussion that's months long about where to live next, because we're pretty much done here. And I was going to put this house up for sale. And there's no place in this country you can go to be 100% safe anymore.
No.
There's bad weather no matter where you look.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, today, they had tornado warnings down in Pensacola.
Right.
And they had, of course, the big thing was on Friday, the double sonic booms that hit in the area and made the ground shake and everything else. And with all the naval stations and all the air traffic, we know what it was from. I mean, you only get sonic booms for pretty much testing. So,
that too, but there are also natural phenomenon that can create that. For example, tectonic activity can do it. Tectonic activity can create a whole wide range of weird stuff, including hums and things and other kinds of harmonics.
What about aliens?
Oh, you hear that? Ron said aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens.
It's aliens coming into our atmosphere and just cutting them.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like back when it was really cold. I mean, it's really cold now, but it was really colder a few weeks, a month ago. It was really cold, and the ground froze so much we were having ice. The ground was freezing and it was booming. And people going, it's hunters. It's deer hunting season. No, my house shook. It's not going to shake from a hunter shooting a deer down the road.
It's not deer season.
And it wasn't deer season at the time. I think it might have been bow, but I don't think it was.
It's probably bow and arrow.
But yeah,
rabbit season.
That boom. Huh?
I think it's rabbit season.
Rabbit. So, and they went that away. So, but yeah, it's not.
Well, y'all saw the picture I posted on the Facebook of the strange and bizarre weather phenomenon of a cloud that was pink but misidentified as a UFO.
No, but I can see that happening.
Because when I first saw the picture, cloud and UFO were not the first things I thought about.
No, more than likely weather phenomenon. Because it happens. I mean, over top of the mountains in Colorado, it happens quite frequently.
Oh my gosh, you honestly haven't seen it yet, have you?
No.
There were people who honestly thought it was a bizarre, twisted portal.
Oh, shoot. I love bizarre, twisted stuff.
People are identified as ID10Ts.
Yes, there are a lot of ID10Ts out there. So,
and there are folks watching the skies and just getting scared as heck. There you go. Now, on first glance, cloud, UFO, not really where my mind went, but some folks think it's a portal to a much more pleasant place.
My mind goes to Photoshop.
No, it was real.
Well, that's where my mind went, was Photoshop, and somebody was paying way too much attention to something they shouldn't have been.
Big donut in the sky.
So
Oh yeah, people are misidentifying cloud formations around the
Well,
planet.
I think it should be rated something other than
The
G.
Cinnabon UFO.
So
Cinnabon. I gotta apologize to you folks. I've started doing coke, so
well, you know,
by the end of the broadcast, it'll get really interesting. You know.
well, yeah, you'll be shaken from too much caffeine too late in the day.
My supplier should be here later.
So you were talking about moving. Are you planning on moving to, say, Pensacola area where your wife's family is?
She has family there, but really it's got to be below the snow line or the ice line because she can't really drive or handle the snow and the ice anymore.
They don't get snow and ice up where Lindsay is. I mean, Lindsay lives in Pace, and they got cold, but that was the coldest day they'd had in 100 years.
You can't get away from the cold because some years back when we were living outside of Tampa, we got down into we got down to the teens.
Yeah, and they got down in the 20s this year.
And down around that way, the houses aren't really built to be insulated. A lot of the plumbing is outside and runs underneath the house.
Here you
and
go.
It gets down in the teens like that. I mean, you can't protect them.
Right, because they're not insulated down there like we are here. So, because Lindsay called and asked me what to do with her stuff. And David, you are 100% right. Post a pic of bird poop in a paranormal group page and someone will see something paranormal. Either that or they'll see Jesus if you put it on a religious one.
Oh.
Jesus on toast.
That is not a lie.
No.
And that's where we go with the paranormal because it's not at face value. It's a matter of interpretation. And how I see it may not be how the next person sees it.
That's true. So,
I'm not just talking about spirit apparitions. I'm just talking about across the board. Somebody may interpret it differently. Time and time again, we've seen paranormal investigators capture an EVP. One person in the group would hear it, the rest of them don't. But it's plain as day on the recorder.
Well, you know what? When it comes to EVPs, I can't pick them out. It's the only a few have I been able to pick out when I hear them. And so the TV's behind me. So when we're watching, he watches, I listen to the paranormal shows. They're on behind me. I'm sitting here. I work 80 hours a week at a real job, get paid to do stuff for a company. I'm not going to say who, but I have a real job during the day, which is sometimes a pain in the rear. But so we'll sit there and we'll listen to the shows and they'll play an EVP and I'll listen before they say what it is and I can't get it. So, but
my wife likes that show Kindred Spirits. I don't know why. And I recorded for her and all that. And they're sitting there listening to or something and they're interpreting words out of it. All I'm hearing is
mm-hmm. Oh, and of course they're using the Panasonic DR60 or whatever it is, the one that's hard to get, it's expensive, and it's been proven to create
distortions.
Yeah. So
yeah, because any self-powered device automatically is going to help contaminate the field.
Right. I mean, right now, if you're listening to this show, you listen to it later, you're going to hear the fan come on my computer and you're going to tell me that I'm having EVPs. But sometimes during my show, there truly are EVPs that happen, that spirits get close to the mic or something and maybe they say something. I don't know. But I can tell you, I'm not hearing it. I'm not seeing them. It's like, you tell me what you're hearing. I'm not hearing it. So, but I will tell you, our guest is in the green room and I'm going to bring her on up and let her introduce herself. Well, maybe I'm not. She just disappeared.
Cancel the drum roll.
So she was here, I swear. I thought, or there she is again. So I'm going to bring up my guest, Tammy Locke, and we're going to let her introduce herself. And just so you guys know, at about 52 after, we're going to take a short break because we are doing a couple test shows so that we can get on iHeart.
So that'll be a test of the Paranormal Pride broadcast system?
Yes, it will be.
Yes, it will be. Okay.
So, but here we go. I'm going to bring up Tammy now. So welcome, Tammy. I'm Denise.
Hello.
Hey!
Hello.
And
You told me to come in at 5:30. I'm like, they're already started.
Well, we had another guest that was supposed to be on for the first half an hour, and they got a flat tire. So, and me being prepared, I got Frank to come in at seven my time, 5 years time, because I had a feeling something was going to happen.
Okay.
And it did. So that CYA thing, I got that covered. I covered my A. So, but
Lord.
But Frank has nothing but nice things to say about you. And like I said, we were looking at the pictures and the black and white pictures of you when you were little. We kind of looked like we could have been.
That was before they invented color photography.
Hey, all I know is he should be saying a lot of nice things about me. I paid him enough.
You mean he's making you pay? He's never made me pay.
I'm just a cheap ass guy.
I
think
I tell you, every room that woman has ever walked into lights up tenfold because she's her own little light and she's got a voice that fills the room.
Oh,
me or her?
Well, I'm sorry. I was talking about Tammy. I'll get to you in a minute, Denise, baby.
Well, I was going to say, I do have more Frank J. Bennett books than I think I do anybody else's.
By the way, Tammy, I forgot to. Do you know I met Denise by eavesdropping?
Did you?
Yeah,
wow.
I was at a live event, and she was eavesdropping on my conversation, and she overheard me say the word Baltimore. And then she was right on me.
Wow.
Because she is a fellow Baltimorean, which is somebody who lived in Baltimore but never went to school.
I'm a Baltimorean. Right. Baltimoreans are people that never left. I'm sorry for all my family that never left, and I consider a Baltimorean. But knowing whose family used to govern our state, Nancy Pelosi's dad used to govern this.
Tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, that's all you got to remember. But that was before I was born. But
let's talk a minute about Tammy Locke.
To be honest, I
was a star of screen and TV, who even today is a fantastic singer and a heck of a human being, and just really a light everywhere she goes. And I'm not buttering your bread because I want anything. I'm just hoping
I got caught in the rain. My hair is appearing to be quite interesting.
So it's raining in California?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You guys are out of your drought.
Yeah, well, no. We're far from that. There's got to be a lot more to come. But I want it to come, in periods, basically. Maybe some this week and maybe some, another week. Not all at once because people's houses are coming down off the mountains and stuff. I myself live in Dairyland, so I'm surrounded by cows.
So you got the smell of wet poop.
Yes. Well, I grew up around that. I grew up with 9 horses. And so they had cows there as well, and steers and all sorts of things. I grew up, in a very farm type of rural neighborhood. Loved it.
What state are you from?
California. Okay. Yeah, California. Our ranch, we didn't own it. It was a ranch that we boarded on. was in Gardena, California, the Oak Cake Corral. Of course, that place changed names so many times. I couldn't keep up with all of the names that it held, but I remember it as the Oak Cake Corral.
Well, let's see. So you ended up in a show called The Monroes that lasted one season, but that was back when one season was 26 shows or more.
Was 2 seasons, yeah.
Well,
when one season was actually 2 seasons.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
And a lot of times they'll start a show mid-season to replace a show that's being kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually started in the business when I was 18 months old. My very first father in the business was Robert Redford. My mother was Diana Hyland, which was John Travolta's first love of his life. She actually died in his arms.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago, was it?
Oh, a long time ago.
See, I'm not good with some of the years. I mean, I remember John Travolta in Grease. You know.
Yeah, when he did what was it, Boy in a Bubble? That's when he
the
was
Boy in
with
a Plastic Bubble. That was about 75.
Something like that. Yeah.
And see, in my case, in 1975, I was still too young to go to the movies by myself. I think.
Right.
You let that stop you?
I didn't.
I thought you had more moxie than that.
I was 10.
Okay, well, so it was Baltimore County. Oh, yeah.
Well, at the time, I guess we lived in Baltimore. We lived in Dundalk. And,
Dundalk.
And Baltimore City. So there was no movie theater nearby. I guess maybe East Point. I don't know. But, we didn't go to the movies very much. I think the first movie I went to by myself was The Sound of Music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Yeah, I just sang that this morning to my granddaughter around this morning. So she
love that movie. Love it.
And you are a singer as well.
I am. I sang country western music with the family band of the famous Tex Williams. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. It was his nephews, his son-in-law, and then a couple of other musicians as well. So we had a great time. 6 years, almost 6 years, on touring the state, and it was an absolute blast. I loved it. Now, one of my members has passed on. And the other member, Russ Paul, he was the nephew, or is the nephew of Tex Williams. Sam Aiello, it was the drummer. He was the son-in-law of Tex Williams, married to Sandy, his beautiful wife, Tex's daughter. Dennis was the bass guitarist. He has passed on. Marty Rifkin, he was a multi-talented individual that pretty much played everything, and he's now and has been for 20 some odd plus, many more than that probably, one of the best producers in the business. He's worked with talents such as Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, Tom Petty when he was alive, and many more. Jewel. He's pretty much touched base with every A-star there is in the music business, and it's not just all country. Marty does everything. And then for a short period of time, we had Christopher Nielsen and then Jeffrey Steele, who is a singer-songwriter out of Nashville, Tennessee. So we had a great time. That was one of the best memories I have is touring California with my band. I loved it.
I was just looking over some of the information that's on your website. So a lot of people on here may remember Bill Bixby. He was in that first one with you.
Oh, yes, he sure was.
And for those of you who may not remember, he was the guy that was
Courtship of Eddie's father.
Yeah, that and the Incredible Hulk before he turned to Lou Ferrigno.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I watched both of those shows. Let's see. Your resume is amazing. You know.
Thank you.
I saw Shelley Fabre and I explained to my husband who she was, and it brought back a lot of memories. Reading over your list of people.
Yeah.
Well, she also
Well,
worked
that
with
one.
the
That
beautiful
one
Barbara
was.
Hershey.
Pardon me.
She also worked with the beautiful Barbara Hershey.
Yes, I know.
Yes, I did. But the one with Shelley Fabre, that DVD is in the same box as the famous movie Meet Me in St. Louis with Judy Garland and Margaret O'Brien. I play Tootie, and that's what Margaret played in the famous movie. So if you go into Walmart or wherever they sell, DVDs. It's a special edition. It has both DVDs in it, and I'm on the second one.
And I also saw, like I said, I'm just looking at this. Clint Eastwood.
Hang 'em high.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
These are names that not everybody knows. You were also affiliated at one time with the Howard family, right?
Well, they were in my TV series, one episode that Teach the Tiger to Purr. And by the way, I don't know if Frank told you, I'm sure he has, but he's going to be appearing at the Hollywood show in Burbank this weekend, which is Friday and Saturday.
Oh, crap. I better start packing.
Yes, you should. And Clint Howard's going to be there. So I'm really happy about that. I'll be able to see him and all my other friends like Anson Williams and Donnie Most and Michael Pere and oh my gosh, Jeremy Miller. There's going to be a lot of stars there.
Well, Kathy Garver's going to be there.
Kathy Garver, the beautiful Kathy Garver. Yeah.
What's funny is Henry Winkler is a Chiefs fan.
Oh, really? Wow. He's going to be there too.
Yeah, he was just here.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
wow, that's wonderful.
On one of our news broadcasts, dressed up for the Chiefs game. I don't know how long he made it out there in the cold, but
Oh, wouldn't that have been funny if they had him on the sidelines dressed up as a coach?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
He was in that movie.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, with a little bucket hat on.
Right, yeah.
I can just see it now.
That would have been funny.
Oh, yeah.
I've never met him. I've done 4 shows with him on the bill. I've never met him.
Really? You'll meet him now.
And then,
hopefully we're too busy for that.
Hopefully.
I want to be so busy that I don't notice the almost 80 Playboy models wandering all over the place.
I know. It's going to be a tough job, my son. My son's coming with me. He's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and 25. And I told him, I said, well, you're going to be surrounded by all of these Playboy models and stuff.
I'll tell you, I never felt so uncomfortable as walking through Planet Hollywood with my boss in the evening with all the burlesque dancers walking, standing on the tables, doing their dances with not only my boss, but my boss's boss with our suitcases, and it's like, first off, I'm overdressed to be there, but I'm,
Well, you can only look down at your drink because if you look anyplace else, you're going to see butt crack.
I couldn't even look at my drink because I was following behind them with, because, it was work. They're not allowed to help you with your suitcases. You have to do it yourself,
Yeah. Well, when I was working at Northrop Aerospace Corporation, and that was in my 20s, basically, I prepped myself for all of that. So being around naked, people, it doesn't bother me. I used to save money by going to the Wild Goose, which was across the street, and they had 25-cent sloppy joes. So you saved money by going to a strip bar, basically. getting your food, eating your lunch and going, and you save money and you put that money that you would normally go and pay, back then it would probably be about, I don't know, $8 or 10 and, for lunch. And here I only paid a quarter.
Well,
So it did not bother me whatsoever.
Oh, and you were also roller derby.
Yes.
I don't know what you call it. I mean,
Actually, it's roller games.
roller games. I know that I wanted to be in roller derby. I wanted to do that so bad because I was really good at roller skating, but my mom goes, "You're just going to break your ankle." And then my sister broke her arm really bad. And it's like, okay, well, you're done with that. And I still roller skate to this day. If I get a chance.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. A friend of mine, I was actually the back bar wash girl at a country club called Dodge Saloon. And there was this wonderful entertainer that looked like a lady, but I don't know what you call him, Troy Walker, but he introduced me. He was a cross-dresser, but he was a major entertainer. And he's even entertained at the White House long time ago, and I mean much more than that. But so he introduced me to John Hall because he knew the famous John Hall and Ralphie Valadares of the LA T-Birds. So that's how I got hooked up into roller games. So I had a blast, absolute blast. Had no problem doing all of the jumps over people and landing on my tail and just having a great time.
Landing on your tail? I mean,
yes.
You landed on your skates?
Well, you do that too, but they want you to land on your rear end to kind of just pep up the scene, I guess, a little bit more. So you land on your rear end and then you jump up onto your skates and then take off again.
Yeah.
It just made it look better.
I remember, Frank may even remember this place in down on 40 Highway.
Starlight Arena.
The roller rink there. And I remember skating.
It was in Edgewood.
Yep. Skating backwards, forward, whatever. Somebody would fall down and I'd have to leap over them, whether I was going forwards or backwards. It didn't make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And because there was always little kids,
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you letting your kid who's 5 years old in the middle of the roller rink, during a regular skating session? That's what daytime's for.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But unlike today, back then, I don't remember too many people being buttheads about it. I remember by and large, most people were decent with you. Mm-hmm. They didn't try to, run you over the rail or anything like that, or chop off or crap.
Well, until they found out who I was when I was a little girl, then I was open game.
So my other guest has showed up, but I'll be bringing them up here in a minute. So, and it's going to be a little bit of a different kind of show for me tonight. I don't normally talk about stardom during my show, but I'm going to bring up our guests. They're part of a band, Ghostatic, the lead singer. And hi, guys. I'm Denise. I'm sorry you guys were late. We started without you, So let me do some introductions here.
Okay.
I'm Denise. This guy, FJB here, is Frank J. Bennett, author. So just so you don't get mixed up.
Okay.
He can keep track of who he is and where he's at, so we're good. And over here is also Tammy Locke.
That's because I'm doing coke.
and she is she's a country music singer back in her past, and she was also a child star back in the 60s and has worked with so many people that you guys might even know some of them. So
awesome.
And so which one of you is Caleb?
I am Caleb. This is Adamo.
Adamo. Okay. I did not want to butcher his name. I was going to wait.
Everybody butchers it. You get a free pass on the first one. But
Adamo, Adama.
You say Adamo, and you'll never forget.
Adamo. Okay.
Yeah. And people will look at it and say, Adamo. And
Yeah.
it's like, no. So I would like to welcome you guys to the Paranormal Pride. And tonight I'm doing basically a little bit different show than, like I said, than I normally do. We really usually talk about paranormal activities and, you know, things related to that. I know that Caleb is a paranormal investigator, and you both are?
Yes. That's the whole
Because I
thing.
know that your band, Ghostatic,
Yes.
okay, that you guys are, your music is paranormal themed, and that was part of what I was told anyway. And from what I saw, your pictures are beautiful on Facebook.
Thank you.
I'm impressed, and I don't impress easy. Just
Okay. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to my photographer, Jeff.
Yeah.
Bitmod Studios. He's a great photographer.
So, how did you guys get involved in the paranormal?
Okay, so just so you know, like a quick summary, Ghostatic was kind of an all-encompassing thing. The paranormal aspect of it came before the music, and that started as teenagers. We were doing some, I don't know if you want to say mimicking, but we were definitely. I purposely got a job at Sears so I could get a discount on one of those Sony night vision IR cameras when I was 16. You know.
Yeah.
So we could go explore abandoned buildings, but this is before social media and everything. So a lot of the places that we had visited, most of them are torn down. A lot of the spots are torn down, but we had some crazy experiences, some crazy footage, some crazy photos, to make it real short. If you want to get the stories, we could tell stories too. Started like that. And so even the bands prior to that I started before the Ghostatic had paranormal themes, or at least names that had to do with the paranormal. This one just happened to be the one where I put a little more effort. I've gotten a lot better in production. I do all the producing, all the writing, all the mixing for all the instruments, even the mastering now. So once I got to that level, I decided to, go all in on that.
Well, good. I mean, I figured the paranormal started first, and then everything just kind of meshed together over time. So that I see it happening a lot. I mean, I'm glad that you got to take your passion and make it into something that you can share with everybody.
That's the point. The whole goal for creatives is, to try and make a living doing what you love. And
Hey, y'all got a sample of your work?
what do you mean?
Like, you got like a 60-second sample of one of your tunes we can listen to?
Absolutely. I think.
Yeah, we're all over the place. So
Yeah, something Tammy and I can dance to.
the dance too. Okay.
Hey, I have a question. Basically, it's an in general question. So I don't know what I have, but I'm able to see things before things happen.
Intuition.
So I'm not sure what that is.
So
because
you may have some mediumship abilities. You may have some deja vu. You may just have some intuition. It just depends. We'd have to talk to you some more.
Are they specific to anything?
Yeah, different things. I actually saw my father hit a dog, and he got out of his car, went over and pulled it over to the side of the road. I knew what color the dog was, and when he got home that day, was extremely upset. And I asked him why he was upset, and he didn't want to tell me. And I said, "Daddy, but I saw it." And he says, "What are you talking about?" "I saw you hit the dog." And so that kind of freaked him out, and he didn't treat me the same after that.
That also could be something called remote viewing, where you are actually, it has to do with spirit connectivity between two living people. And if you are in attenuation with someone else's spirit, not only can you feel what they feel or, emote what they emote, but you may also be seeing things through their eyes.
Wow.
At times.
So,
wow. Well, that's what I got. Of course, there's been many other, scenarios, but I'm not going to go through. That's in my autobiography that I'm releasing next month.
Well, woohoo! We found a way to tie you into the paranormal here. So we're good. So I found you guys' YouTube page. Is there something you want me to play from this? That you'll give me, that Ghostatic will give me permission to play on the air?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. 5 or 6 of those songs were released under Warner Music, so sometimes people get flagged when they.
Well, like I said, I know that. That's why I'm asking permission. You tell me which one.
I'm giving you permission, but there's been times where I would post stuff on my TikTok and I would get flagged for it. It was so annoying. I had to go through my A&R. Was like,
what's your best song so she can play it?
I'm trying to think of something that you guys would be familiar with. I did a cover song.
Okay.
Most of 99% of it's originals, but one of them's a cover song that I did, but I kind of changed it a little bit.
Okay.
And, you might appreciate it. If look up "Don't Stand So Close to Me," Ghostatic.
And the police are okay with that, right?
So you're asking for my permission to play a cover song of another person. Just gonna have to roll the dice on this one.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes.
Okay, so let me get there.
Now this is a little more drawn back. A lot of stuff's pretty heavy. But this one's more electronic.
It sounds like dogs barking.
Yes, I have 240-pound Great Pyrenees that watch our house and that will kill people if they come in.
By eating them, yes.
By eating them. Dinner.
Does this look right on the video down here? Look down. Is that the right video?
Am I?
It's dark green. Yeah, look. I don't know if you guys can see the green room or not.
Much on like if you found it on YouTube, chances are somebody else posted that. I didn't post it. So if it's the right song, most of my
we'll find out.
Just let them put it up.
Here you go.
Why don't you guys play it? Play that way you're in control.
Ollie will come.
House. Now, are you trying to play it through?
Oh,
There we go.
Looks like it. That looks like it.
oh, that's the one I made. That was the promo one I made.
But is this the song
Yeah,
though?
the song's in there.
Okay, this is in our video.
Long time ago, before we had a music video for it.
Can you hear it?
They unmuted our mic. I don't know what happened.
Just a second. I forgot to share the music.
Okay. If you go on Spotify, probably be easier.
That's got a good 60 seconds on it, though.
Let's see here.
If you want to go on another streaming service, I don't know if that's going to be correct. If you search,
it had you guys' logo on the beginning of it.
Yeah, it's an old video.
just look up. If you look up,
Okay, let's see
how
here.
about this? Look up. Do me a favor. Look up "Still Haunt My Dreams" by Ghostatic instead, because I don't know what that video is going to be.
Okay.
But I know what "Still Haunt My Dreams" is going to be, and it kind of goes with the theme. Now, this one we shot an actual music video for, and the girl that's in the video who's featured, she's 6'7". It might not translate in the video. Flat-footed. She's 6'7", and she's this demon. You'll see her right in the beginning.
Remember how cold it was for that shoot?
It was very cold in the warehouse. Yeah, we shot it around this time of year in a warehouse. I actually work at a sex club on the weekends, a swingers club, and it was shot in the warehouse of the train station that's built into the top of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I can't hear. Okay.
I know. I haven't shared the sound yet. Okay.
I don't trust anyone. Are they watching?
Can you guys hear that?
Paranoia seems to fuel fire, and insanity keeps it burning strong. Why am I running away? 'Cause everywhere I look, there you are. I'm crying, I'm begging, I'm pleading. This planet is still not big enough for both of us. Even though your oceans are away, you still hold my dreams.
I didn't know.
Okay. There we go. I liked it. I thought it was really good. So let me see. Let me unmute you. There you go.
All right, good job. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not used to sharing videos on here, so sometimes Carl has to do it. So,
No, you figured it out.
but yeah, I liked it. I think, and to be honest, I like a lot of music. I just don't like a lot of. He's heavy metal. That's what I hear most of the time, and I like everything from country, ELO. Hate Tom Petty. Sorry.
Now, I have a theory, and I want your opinion, guys.
Okay.
Having listened to heavy metal since the late 60s, I've kind of had this feeling that the reason why so many people are into it is because it's varying degrees, pitches, and tones of static sound. In other words, it reaches such a level where it's beyond a certain tonal quality where it actually feels like static in the ear.
White noise, yeah.
Very much like that, yeah, and different degrees of that. And you're adjusting the pitch and tone of it.
So that there's different ways. Obviously, if you're streaming it on here, you're going to get a very low quality version of it. If you listen to it on, like I'm in my studio right now. If I turn this around, you'd see. This is where like I do all this stuff. If I played in here and you were sitting in here, it would sound a lot different than what you would hear.
Mm-hmm.
What city and state are you guys in?
I am currently in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I am very far away from you, just north of Youngstown.
Oh, you're right around it. You're not far at all. Oh, shit.
So do you
On
guys
Thursday, I'm flying out of Cleveland to go see Tammy in Burbank.
No. Oh shit.
So do you have any ill will towards anybody in Kansas City?
Them,
Who?
me or them.
Because of this, Super Bowl or the game that just happened yesterday, the Chiefs and,
I'm
and
in
Cincinnati. I know.
Well, the Browns got knocked out weeks ago, so
That doesn't mean you're a Cleveland fan. It does mean that, but it does mean you could have some ill will towards some Baltimoreans that used to be Ravens fans.
I tell you, I don't like the way that game played out last night, but it's neither here.
I never talk about that kind of stuff. I never say those words, and so I don't know.
I don't even remember.
I never invest. Being from Cleveland, we know not to invest in any sports teams emotionally.
That's true.
So
this is wise because they can't keep quarterbacks, they can't keep running backs, they can't. It's just they get their hopes on like what was his name, Baker?
Yeah, Baker.
And he was like the bomb, and then he got hurt.
Just like every other quarterback we've had.
We've had more quarterbacks than any team in the NFL in the last 20 years by a landslide.
It's like 50 quarterbacks.
Yeah, almost as many as San Francisco.
San Fran did. I feel bad for them too. Last on Sunday.
Penalties killed them.
Just so you know, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not a football fan, but this is hopefully our last winner in Kansas City. So
my favorite team is one I bet on.
Yeah, Ron's favorite team is the team he bets on.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to make him some money. But I do have some questions for you guys. And these are from Bartell. He's huge into music here in Kansas City area. He says, and he's been, I think he was a roadie for a bunch of bands. Oh, yeah. And he'll pop in and he'll tell me, he'll correct me. So they want to know, what console do you use for live productions, and do you utilize it on investigations?
We do not have we don't have a single console that we use for live production. All the studio production nowadays, especially, most of it's in the box. I run a DXL Pre-73, which is like a 1073 emulator that goes, and I have a U87 clone. That's how I record my vocals. Everything else I run directly into the amp and then out. For live, actually our in-ear monitor system has an X32, if he's familiar with that. What is your preference for vocal mics in the studio? I have a U87 clone. It's basically an N2. You guys it's gonna sound like a bunch of blah for a second, so just bear with me. I have an NT1A that this guy took apart and replaced all the parts inside of it. This guy in Massachusetts. And on his website, he had a U87, which is like industry standard, very expensive mic. And he had this clone next to each other. And this guy recorded his voice in it. This like Grammy nominated vocalist. I don't remember who he was. He sang the Star Spangled Banner and both mics at the same time. You had to pick which audio file was a U87 and which one was the clone. And some 80% of the people got the clone by mistake. So I was sold. I bought a $200 mic. I sent it for about, I think it was about $400 to fix it up. And then I got a U87 basically. But what I was saying for my live production, we, basically whatever console, the X32s have been like industry standard for a front of house, but back of house in our in-ear monitor system, we also use an X32 rack. Sennheiser IMs. I use a Sennheiser 945 live, a bunch of other bullshit. So the blah, blah, blah is over.
So we're going to take a real quick break. So because we have to put in a commercial.
Sure.
So that I can get this on another network. So we'll be back with our guests in just a few minutes.
Check me out on Spotify called Hurt Tammy Locke.
Hurt.
HURT on Spotify.
Is that your band name or is that what you go by?
That's the song.
Oh, okay. And it's just called Tammy
Locke.
Tammy Locke. I'm sorry. I'm reading names.
Mm-hmm. Check me out. Let me know what you think.
The views expressed here are solely the opinions of the hosts and the guests, and not necessarily those of the network, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc. If you have an issue with the content of the show, please contact the show host. Thank you.
In the time when the world around us was falling apart, I answered the call. I left and you called me a hero. When I returned, you didn't care. Now you treat me as an outcast? 22. That's how many of my brothers and sisters die each day. 22. Every day I struggle with my demons. Every day is a war that I feel I'm losing. Every day I wonder if I'll be number 22. I fought so you could keep your freedom. The least you could do is acknowledge my existence.
Hi, honey.
Hey, gorgeous. Where'd Denise go? What the what? I think we're on our own. Oh, by the way, did you hear about Cindy Williams?
Yes.
That, honestly, I had just found out about it right before the show.
What is going
happened?
on? Everybody's dying.
Well, Cindy Williams passed away
Today?
from Laverne and Shirley.
Yep.
Yesterday, Lisa Loring?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Lisa Loring passed away.
I have a theory. But
And?
it's not popular. It'll get me kicked off of Facebook. So
And?
well, I don't really care. I guarantee that they're all vaccinated.
Oh, I know. There's no way I'm doing it. My matter of fact, you can read a book. It's by Spice Williams Crosby. Something about like you think you want to die. It'll tell you all about it. Matter of fact, she knew Fauci before Fauci was known to the world. She's a celebrity, major celebrity stunt woman. She is a doctor of 40-something years and a mortician. She knows exactly what's going on with that shot. She says, do not take it.
Let me tell you, she's a good guest.
Yeah.
Maybe not for this one because she's not paranormal related, but for the other one, Bill of Rights,
Yeah.
she would be a very informative guest.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Her and her husband.
Spice? Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Crazy
yeah.
off the charts.
well, it is what it is. I tell you, there's way too many things I could talk about this, and I don't want to get into that part of it now because we'll lose listeners, and that's not the point. It's not to, and this one, it's not to get political. This one's for, fun and learning on stuff like that. And yeah, some people make it political, and I'm not.
It's just getting the truth out.
Yeah. So
well, technically, I think it applies because the whole COVID thing has made a lot of people ghosts.
Yeah.
well, it has, and
Yeah, made them paranormal.
So here we got some questions for you guys. This can go to everybody. This is from April. She asks, what is your favorite adult beverage?
Tammy, you go first.
Ice water with lemon.
Very California of you.
When I'm not drinking margaritas, no.
Okay. So there you go. Got to stay hydrated between margaritas.
Did you guys listen?
What?
No,
Did you guys listen?
Well, actually, I saw the video of you singing her.
He went outside for a second, and I had to grab some
Food. I saw ya.
Hey, I'm doing Coke.
He was going like this.
That's okay. I did that before the show really fast. So Frank, what is your favorite adult beverage?
Well, as you all know, I gave up trying to be a drinker a very long time ago. I just simply was not good at it. This thing where you guys can drink yourself blind and in oblivion, I never hit that. I was always too consciously aware of everything, so just money out of my pocket. But when I did, I love Long Island iced teas.
Oh, those are dangerous.
Yeah.
Tell me that. I would put away 6 a night. In this glass.
No.
Not this glass, this glass. 6 a night.
Okay, Denise, your turn.
I like anything
Alcoholic?
anything Old Smoky makes, basically, that's not apple pie or pickle. So I like my moonshine, and but it has to be flavored. I don't like it really hot. I'm kind of picky that way. But other than that, I also like.
I can't wait to taste Shine Girl, but I got to go back east to get it.
Well, I have a family member who is a moonshiner, and I have
wow.
That was his dad was a bootlegger, so yes, I got connections.
Well, they make shine in California. It's just called a Chardonnay.
All right, Ghostastic, you're up. What's your favorite drinks?
Oh, God. I'm not a connoisseur of sorts when it comes to alcohol, although I've been surrounded by it because all I do is work in that
environment. Yeah.
Depends on the mood. I would say I don't really drink beer anymore. I like gin.
Woo!
But
martini guy?
I'll drink a martini, but it's not my preferred drink. I usually okay, so if I get random drink, chances are it's going to be Hendrix, soda, splash of Sprite with a couple limes, and that's
it.
So
that sounds good.
But I don't really drink much, and I don't know. It makes me less productive, so I just don't do it.
Well, it dries your body out as well. When you're a singer, you want to try and stay away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need all the saliva you got.
Because metal fans don't love you if you're not spitting on them.
Well, if he also works in a sex club, we might need it for something there too.
What's his favorite? What's his favorite?
After a live show, I like to drink champagne. I like champagne.
Oh.
But my favorite drink would be the Hurricane. It's you can find it in New Orleans, which we are going to be playing this September at Fear Fest. So it's
really?
Yeah.
You know what? We are going to be living about 4 hours from there. Hopefully.
Wow.
We're at in New Orleans.
Well, we're going to be living in Pensacola area.
Oh, Pensacola, Florida. Okay.
So about 3 hours from there, and I can't wait. I haven't been back since 6 weeks before Katrina.
Wow.
That was 2000.
That was the last time I was there. Yeah.
2004.
Yeah, we were there. They were. What's funny is they were doing their disaster preparedness training, and I don't know how much they could. Yeah, they were just walking around with hurricanes around the city. They had their meeting in our hotel, so
Delicious.
and of course that. well, that mayor ended up on the, or not the mayor, the governor at the time ended up on the board of directors for the company I work for.
Wow.
Was I tell you about my company?
Mhm.
But you know, Louisiana is the good old boy network when it comes to business. So
I don't know if you guys are involved in this, but we're playing some show / paranormal event, paracon type thing down there.
Yeah.
It's called, what is it?
Parafest.
Parafest. That's what it's called.
Or Fear. I'm sorry, Fearfest.
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 Okay.
New
In
Orleans,
September.
To be announced. The date will be announced soon, but we're going to be headlining that show. There's going to be a couple other local bands, hopefully. And,
Also leading a paranormal investigation.
yes.
all right.
We didn't hear your drink of choice.
He likes the hurricane.
The hurricane or champagne.
Oh, the hurricane. Okay.
Or if he
Or a 12-pack. I don't know.
no, Ice House.
It goes great when you have a limo.
When I see ice houses near him,
He gets worried.
I usually exit stage left.
Yeah.
He's going.
Ice houses. Just
Yeah,
stop
they're
at
really
7-Eleven and
They're the most disgusting beers you could possibly drink, and that's why I drink them, because I really don't like drinking. I just have a problem with it.
well, Bart asks, do you have any dates in the Kansas City area for gigs?
No, we do not. Unfortunately, not yet. I mean,
We would love to.
Yeah, if something comes up. I mean,
We have a date in Vegas. We have possibly end of April, and then we got one in May.
A couple local
That's in
shows.
Cleveland.
We're always gonna have a couple local shows around here.
Toledo next month or March. And,
Do you have the same music producer?
I produce all the music.
Really? Wow. That's awesome.
Do everything you hear, every single thing.
Wow.
But the
That's
band,
great.
you basically hire a band to play it. But they're
Wow.
my friends that are in the band. So
No, one of my friends is a producer.
yeah.
So when you guys are playing in Vegas, what's the venue? Do you know?
Well, it's
Can you share?
So my A&R Stephen Nathan, he got. I don't know if we're gonna do it or not because it's an industry thing, but a bunch of industry heads, A&Rs, radio personalities, labels, you name it, management companies, booking agents, they're all gonna be there for this. It's basically a giant showcase. It's like a 2-day thing,
Mm-hmm.
or 3-day thing. April 26th, 27th, 28th. And it's taking place at multiple venues throughout the city. So I'm not 100% if we're doing that one. I want to. There's a logistical thing right now because we just got notified about that show a couple weeks ago, and it's already, end of January, about to be February.
Yeah.
So I wanted to line up a few more shows en route. So it would be you don't just go
Right.
Vegas from Cleveland and come home and play a show. You try to put a leg in of shows. So if I can coordinate with some people on that, because technically we don't have a booking agent at the moment, which is I'm hoping we will after that show in April. We'll see how that goes. We're playing the big thing this year and they're gonna announce the lineup on Wednesday is Incarceration.
Mm-hmm. At the Mansfield Prison here in Ohio, where they shot Shawshank Redemption, and a lot of people go there for ghost tours, things like that, and we've done investigations.
Yep. We're the Wi-Fi company that they use, or used to be.
Really?
We sold off that part of our company. I work for probably one of your internet companies that's available there.
Okay.
So,
My
daughter lives in Vegas. She's so my other daughter did. So I know Vegas very well, probably better than I should. And I'm not a producer, no, but that's why I was asking about the venues, because there's some really nice ones that are off the strip that are nice, and then some that are really.
You produced 4 daughters.
Yes, I did produce 4 daughters, but that's different.
All of them in Vegas.
So no.
Hey, there's a Paracon coming up in Vegas in a couple months called Days of the Dead. You may know about it. They are heavy.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Push.
Push now. But they are heavy in the metal. They're going to have metal bands at that show, and the zombies, all that kind of stuff.
What's that called? Day of the what? Day of the
Days of the Dead. And let me get you some dates.
Yeah, shoot them over to us. That's happening when?
Frank knows everybody, and he knows all the good shows to go to that people might be interested in.
Hello, Russell.
In his type of books. So,
well, there's going to be one coming up in Indianapolis in June. The one that's in Vegas is going to be in April, but I did not take down the dates for it. But tables are not cheap. Just to let you know about that, because I always buy a table. But they're going to have metal bands there, and about anybody who was killed in a horror movie is going to be there.
Minneapolis. I know some people in that industry. I had a few different opportunities to be on television for paranormal shows, and so I kind of got into a network of people. Still actually signed to Painless Productions. I got pitched on a show last May as the host, but they never picked it up. Nope. I think it was Discovery Plus was supposed to pick it up, and that was going to be shot in Detroit, 6 1-hour episodes.
Yeah. Now I did do one of the paracons over here in Mansfield at the penitentiary, and nobody there made money.
What do you mean?
Sales are bad. Not that many people came through the door for that event. Now they line up for the tours. They line up for the ghost hunts at night. That's around the block. But the Paracon itself, that nobody made money at that show.
Well, incarceration they will, because I was there last year. There was 65,000 people there.
Yeah,
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's
Frank, when you coming in?
Me?
Yeah.
I arrive in Burbank early Thursday morning.
Okay.
I'm going to get me a rental car and probably go sit on Malibu, which by now should be adjacent to Calabasas.
The mudslides, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Calabasas is becoming beachfront property. But I'll be there early Thursday morning.
Oh, okay. That Days of the Dead, Frank, that is the 17th through 19th of February.
Oh, February. Closer than I thought, yeah. Well, now, the week after the Hollywood show this weekend, I have to be in Baltimore for a show called Farpoint, which is for science fiction writers. And of course, my second book is paranormal science fiction. So, and it's just down the road from, our stomping grounds, Denise. So I got to do that show. But a couple weeks later, I'm going to be in Atlanta for a Comic-Con, and I'll also be speaking on the 24th at a show in Pensacola called Pensacon.
Yes,
these
and
are popping up everywhere. Jesus.
Yeah, like Super Chicken.
Well, from what I understand, Pensacola has quite a few events.
I did the Pensacon show once a few years back. Business was not good, but they have got probably 36 celebrities. I mean, actual celebrities there. So I would recommend people go. Many friends of mine are going to be there.
Well, I figure when we do really get moved, I guess we'll have to hunt you down, because we'll just be across the bay from Pensacola. So
yeah,
Pensacola.
That's pretty soon. Well, Bart says for you guys to get in touch with Mammoth Productions.
Mammoth Productions, is that a what type of production company is that?
You'll speak up.
Yeah. What's up, Bernard?
So, yeah, like I said, his name is Bartell, is his real name, but he gets in trouble on Facebook all the time. So, Weekend at Bernie's as it is. And he's also a paranormal investigator. He's the tech guy for their team. That's why he asked the question about, do you happen to use any of your production equipment on investigations?
No, we travel light when we do the investigations. I really like to use a lot of equipment. This is float. I like to kind of feel out things a little bit more. I wish I had more analog gear, but I don't.
Yeah, I'll look into them, Bernard.
Oh, okay, Mammoth Productions. Bernard, if you got or Bart, whatever you want to go by. inbox me or whatever. Send us a message
So,
after here or email us ghostaticmgmt@gmail and we'll respond to that. Ghostaticmgmt.
Hopefully,
Do you gentlemen take a psychic medium with you on your investigations?
So
that's
it's
weird.
funny you say that.
That is funny. He says that.
Well, I'm trying to be funny.
Well, I was going to tell you guys something crazy that happened. So we have a psychic medium that I know personally because every time I travel to do an investigation, I call her or we show up together.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were at Waverly Hills last month, and then we were also at Bobby Mackey's last month. And the one time we got to this, I don't like doing the big, like super popular spots because I feel like they're just played out and spirits there just don't want to play any games anymore anyways.
Oh, there's also cross-contamination.
There's all sorts. We can go into detail, but I just generally feel like these spirits are intelligent and they're sick of, can you tell me your name, please? No, they're not going to listen. So you either got to find some fresh meat. Not the right term.
well, no, that pretty much is the right term.
Fresh
And I agree. I believe that there is some boredom there.
Don't give it 90% of the time. You got to either be provoking them or asking.
And we don't.
Well, it's like Eastern State Penitentiary and the lunatic asylums. I mean, they are booked literally every weekend of the year. And, you know, you got to see it from the spirit's point of view. It's like, well, the 4:00 tour is coming in. I guess I'm on.
Yeah.
Yes, my name was Bob and I lived here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So we got a unique situation where a girl that I knew from the sex club told me about. She said her friend from Erie, PA so I was just driving through basically Youngstown. Well, you were a little south. Her friend's husband had died 8 months prior of an accidental overdose in the house. He bled out in the basement. There's just blood stains all over the carpet, all over the mattress, which they had just thrown out when we got there. It was 8 months later.
Nothing was touched.
Nothing was touched for some reason. They didn't clean up. They were separated at the time, so the house kind of just sat for a bit. And when we got there, it was a crime scene. It wasn't an paranormal investigation that we saw. I mean, when you looked at the mattresses, I was like, "What the fuck?" This is the first video that like really kind of. No, it wasn't the first, but this was the first series of videos I put on my TikTok that really blew up. That got me like this huge following. It was disgusting, but I called Connie, circling back to the whole medium thing. I called Connie on Facebook, like a video call, right? She knows nothing. It's a suicide. It's not written paper. She knew nothing about where I was going or anything like that. I called her the day before or 2 days before, and I said, hey, can you be available whatever evening it was, Friday evening? Because I'm going to a house where somebody died. I just want to see if you pick up on anything. So we go to this house. And like I said, it's a murder scene. Well, not a murder scene. It was a suicide, but it was a crime scene. And there was 2 people that actually died in this house that we come to find out. Her father, who was like terminally ill 7 years prior, died in the house. And then he also died in the house. So our psychic medium, her name's Connie. She picked up on the older gentleman, which was Bino was her name. It was her dad. Described him to a T. Over the phone. This is the first time I really got to test her ability because I've been on paranormal investigations with her at Moundsville Prison, at the Bel Air house. And it's like you're talking to spirits. You don't know who the hell you're talking to. Oh, I see a guy with this wearing this and he looks like that. Okay, well, who the fuck is that? You have nobody alive to confirm who you're speaking to. I don't like that. So so we go here and we've got somebody alive who can actually reaffirm what, you know, the information that's being not translated, but, you know, being channeled through her. So she describes her dad to a T, really, to a T. Yeah. Glasses, grayish, brownish hair.
We were looking at a picture.
Back, and
we were looking at a picture while she was describing.
Yeah, while she's on the phone. That time she wasn't on video. Described him perfectly. We said nothing till the end, and I just said, okay, I'm gonna call it. She had to run, she had to eat or something. She said she was gonna call us back. So we continued our investigation, which actually some crazy stuff on the physical end happened in that house as well. Like lights just turned off right in front of us. We're not talking about an old decrepit house. This is a house that somebody lives in.
Yeah, I don't think they liked what I said to them. That's why
Yes.
it happened. It was a personal thing, and that's how you could tell. That's when it happened. I was like, ooh, okay, maybe they like this home.
He started talking about demolishing the house to find some hidden money.
Yeah.
And the second he said we should knock down some of these walls, the lights went out in the den.
Yeah.
They just
Well,
walked
that was provoking. I mean, what do you expect?
right.
Well, I mean, I wasn't saying
it was kind of a joke.
Yeah, I was just joking around. I'm not.
But he didn't take it as a joke, and you guys know it was a joke. But
I know.
he did not take that as a joke.
No.
So Connie calls me back. I'm trying to make a long short. Connie calls me back, and I was like, okay. She's like, well, listen, I wrote some things down right when I hung up because I was picking up on something big. I said, okay, well, I'm this is all on camera too. So if you want to watch it, it's on my TikTok. It's Ghostatic. If you just look up on my TikTok. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs now, and that's where it happened. There was a bedroom downstairs. That's where it happened. I didn't say anything about that though to her. I said, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs now. Tell me if you pick up on anything. And she said the room was spinning, and she was tingling from head to toe. And she said the first thing that she said was, she's like, this is really odd. I've never had this happen, but I taste bile in my mouth. And at that point, like my skin the hair on my arm kind of stood up because this guy overdosed accidentally and he was throwing up everywhere. I was like, oh shit. So we're walking towards the room, and she says, I'm picking up on it, and I'm picking up on a name that starts with the letter D. And the guy's name was Danny.
And she said, I think she said,
and she said Danny Davis. His
Something.
name was Danny Davis.
Yeah.
And she said Davis. I don't know if she said Daniel.
She said David, I believe, and Danny and all these things.
She said a bunch of D names, and I
That's funny.
freaked out. And we go into the room, and she's like, I'm seeing pills. We've told her nothing about the actual suicide or how this
We didn't
happened.
even
It wasn't
know.
a suicide. It was an accidental overdose.
But we didn't know anything.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that she said we didn't know, and Bina had not told us yet until she started saying that. Be like his middle name. We didn't know his middle name was Davis. So she described the room. She said, I see the color brown. The carpeting is all brown in the room. She says, I see crushed up pills and pills on like a mirror. And he used to crush them up, and he used to take them. He used to ingest them orally, and he used to obviously snort them. She said that he was still in the framework of thinking about, he was still in a bad frame of mind, even after he had passed. And this is where I kind of got a little upset because I didn't want, Bina was standing right there, his wife.
It was pretty emotional.
So it got real emotional. Then Connie started crying because she was like feeling everything. And then, obviously Bina started crying, even though she's a really thick skin. She actually started tearing up. We were all just kind of real shaken by the whole thing. And the fact that she was able to pick up on all of that from nothing.
Yeah. Those are the kind of
Amazing.
Those are awesome investigations. Those are the kind that we prefer. Something that's private like that someone can say something and like
personal.
It's just it's just
well, in this
Most
case,
of all, fresh.
Yeah,
Right.
fresh, yeah.
no, it was
and
Not over done.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fresh, so there's
yep.
your ghosts are right there.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like going to these legendary places. They're
they're
a
cool.
sight to see, and it's bucket list type stuff. They both have their pros and cons. Sometimes you get some crazy, like we had some crazy things happen to us at Moundsville, unexplained, like a whole voice that wasn't even on. It wasn't on any device or anything. We all heard it. Things like that, because they're a little bit more crazy in those locations.
Yeah, and I know about Overdone, being the tour guide at the Sally House for 7 years. That's people coming in and going, "Is Sally here? Is that little girl?" There was never a little girl, people. I mean, on Thursday night, I'm going to be on a show, and I'm going to be talking about the difference, about gullibility and skepticism. You need to have some skepticism, and you can't be gullible.
Right.
Because it happens a lot. There's so much true factual stuff out there that's so great, no matter what the place is, private residence or even, Waverly Hills, but with Waverly Hills and these places where thousands of people died, how can you validate who you're talking to?
Right.
How do you know it's not something that's, Lying.
We actually
We were just there and shot a music video.
yeah, when we were in Waverly, listen to this. We were in Waverly. I don't know if we were supposed to do this or not. We set up cameras and just shot part of my music video there. They didn't really know we were doing that. So we shot.
We don't care. Yeah, what I say is you paid to rent the place.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're not peeing on the walls and taking a dump in the hallway.
Well,
I don't care.
We it was like I laid on a metal gurney with no shirt on, and it was like 35 degrees in there.
That was funny.
Ooh,
That was awesome.
cold.
Get on this gurney. All right.
And so how can you tell if there was a cold spot when everything's cold?
Everything was.
It was cold. It was cold
Everything.
there. Bobby Mackey was freezing. That was a
Bobby Mackey's is cold in the summertime.
Yeah.
We went in the middle of winter.
Yeah, I know. We
was
went
awful.
we went in September a long time ago, and and we went during the day. There was nobody there, just us and the tour guide.
Tammy, do you know these locations they're talking about?
No, but I was just thinking about a haunted theater that I took acting lessons in from one of my best friends, Bill Cobbs. Bill and I used to sneak away because it was two connecting areas. It was the theater and then this little kind of a glass type of room where he used to give the acting classes, and then he and I'd sneak down into the theater, and we'd be looking up and we'd looking around. We'd be like, "Okay, talk to us, say something."
Yeah.
Yeah, the locations they were.
I think
just
it's one of
talking
those
about.
one of those overdone places.
Yeah, the locations that they were all just talking about are kind of like the McDonald's and the Burger King of
Yeah.
the ghost hunting world.
Yeah.
Well,
but
Bobby
nothing ever happened. But we had fun, he and I had fun just going over there and wishing something would happen. Bill Cobbs was in Night at the Museum and Enough with Jennifer Lopez, and
That
he was in a
good
lot
one.
of different things.
Bobby Mackey has a country music album.
It's got a couple, doesn't it?
that he did that album probably back in the 80s, and
Yeah, he's really a lot like Mickey Gilley in some ways.
My mom met him. She thought he was a really nice guy. She went there for an event for a bluegrass festival. So this guy that was in the bluegrass had a heart attack, and they did an event there at Bobby Mackey's, and my mom said she sat there at the bar drinking her soda, and she goes, I didn't feel anything other than it felt like it was going to fall into the river. Because it goes downhill.
I think
And you guys probably felt that.
I felt, I felt
Freezing.
I felt cold and
Cold.
I felt nothing.
We also shot a music video.
I don't think. Yeah, we shot another. I actually played an acoustic
Another video.
version of a song there and filmed it because I figure while we're there, kill two birds.
Why not? Like
Yeah.
I said, you rented the place. You might as well get the most with your money and make it a tax write-off.
Did you get anything when you were there? Because I didn't feel shit.
What I got when we were there was we did this day tour, and of course you can hear the road out there because it's on the road. But we would hear noise in one part of the bar, and we would go over there, and it would go to the other side of the bar. It felt like somebody was playing tricks on us.
It was loud.
It was very loud.
I mean, it wasn't.
It wasn't-
a little noise.
Yeah, it wasn't like him counting change over here that you're hearing in the background. It was loud enough to where the tour guide was going, what in the heck is that noise? And we went over by the bull. I don't know if they still have it.
Yeah, it's still there.
But yeah, we heard it over by the bull, and then we heard
Oh,
it
the
over
bull-
by the door.
The bull is not set up anymore. It's in the
It's in
basement.
the it's in the
Yeah, it was upstairs on the entrance level when we were there. And then downstairs by the portal to hell, the well, from when it was a distillery. The truth is much greater than the stories that they tell. The jail cell. So I'm sitting here and I say something about the quality of their prostitutes.
Oh, well, now you went and did it.
Yeah, I did it. And all of a sudden, this this red thing goes across my face like I'm being slapped for questioning.
Was it shaped like a bizarre cloud?
No, it was not shaped like that. No, it was just this big red light went right in front of me going towards that cell. And so I don't know if they were trying to lead me into it to say, hey,
Join the club.
Witch face getting there, and whatever. Because I tell everybody I have a resting witch face, so, but yeah, we had that. Well, I don't usually use witch. So, but yeah, we had that happen. Like I said, I had more of a weird feeling upstairs though, from the beams being rotten underneath there. I got a feeling it's going to fall into the Licking River before long.
And right behind it, you got barges going by. You got all that going on.
The floor was just like that.
It's waves of So that, like I said, that right there will make you feel weird. And just having a sign above the door as you're coming in suggesting that you're going to have paranormal activity predisposes people to going, everything's paranormal. And again, that's why you need to have some skeptical, be skeptical and not be gullible.
Hey, Tammy, what was the name of the theater that you were at? Do they do stuff there?
It's in Ontario, California. I think it's called the Granada, but it's very, very, very famous for ghosts all the time.
Now, is it still in operation? Is it still used?
Oh, yes. It's in operation. I believe they take tours through there and stuff like that. I haven't gone in it since I took the acting lessons from Bill Cobbs, but I pass by it all the time because it's down the street from me.
That's cool.
For you guys, you might want to check out the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb, Illinois. It is the last Egyptian theater east of the Mississippi River.
So
they do tours and it's haunted.
Well, okay.
Well, there's supposed to be something in Portland, Oregon as well. I went to it. It's like a mining place, and there's ghosts and they're running throughout there. And
they have their underground, and that's,
yes, I went to that. That was cool.
Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff there, and their tour guide recently died, and they think that he's haunting the place as well.
Oh, wow. Well, that's where my lead guitarist lives, and I went up there to spend some time with him. So Russ Paul, he toured with Leonard Skinnard and Doobies and all those people.
Well, Tammy, I sent you a friend request. If we ever come down to California this year, which we may, I'll hit you up and we'll hang out and we'll figure out what's going, just to see like what you know about and the people you know and just whatever.
Hey, I'd love that. I'd love that.
Check
out who Marty Rifkin is. Check out who Marty Rifkin is.
Rifkin, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've heard that name before.
Why do I know that?
He's a record producer for like Elton John and oh gosh, you name it, he's been there. Bruce Springsteen. That's his best friend. That was my band member. He is, yeah. Matter of fact, you know what? I told you about the Spotify and me doing Hurt. I brought the music tracks and we did, he mastered it in 2.5 hours. I went in and sang it, and that was a couple of years ago. So
Ashes, Hurt?
Hurt, H-U-R-T, with Tammy Locke on Spotify.
Is it your version of that song? Is it your own version of the song Hurt?
Well, no, it's I mean, everybody and their dog did it. Elvis and who I saw and admired was Juice Newton. That's who I saw sing it, and I fell in love with it because my voice is big. My voice is very big. I blow out speakers. Sometimes. Been known to.
Well, we blow out a lot of electrical things, so I mean,
yeah.
So you guys are on Facebook?
Yes,
everywhere.
Oh, okay. Because when I accept it, I haven't done that yet, but when I do, I've been putting up some recordings of mine on Facebook on my wall. So, but you can listen.
In the event that I shared with all of you guys, all the links for you guys are out there. So make sure anybody who's listening to this, if I posted all the links in the show, in the chat. So you should be able to get those whether you're listening on Facebook or YouTube, or even if you came here from Instagram, it's also out there. So make sure that you check those out. And
if you're TikTok, that's where my bigger following is on TikTok. Ghostatic.
I heard that's closing down. I was reading something the other day that they're getting rid of TikTok. I'm like, what?
The individual states are trying to shut it down because it's interfering with government activity.
Yeah. You're not allowed to have it on government phones and things like that.
Wow.
They're worried about the security of information being used by Chinese government, basically on American citizens. But
my gorgeous niece is on Facebook, and she's always putting up her TikTok, and people are just going crazy over her. I mean, good Lord, she's drop dead gorgeous and then some.
Because Denise, what's been going on is that the Chinese are using TikTok to pull down private and personal and government information and then hide it in their garages.
Wow.
Yeah. They're secured.
Next to their Corvettes.
Yeah.
Well, who knew that's safe? But that it is what it is. I thought my 65 Impala was safe. I mean, I could sideswipe cars all over Kansas City and not hurt mine. I think that's secure. That's not.
Wow. I got to go pretty soon, you guys, because there's another radio show that wants to interview me before I do the autograph show this Friday. So,
well, you know what, Tammy, where can everybody find you?
TammyLocke.com. I was a former child movie and TV star and commercial star. I had my own radio show. I was a famous roller games, roller derby girl on television. And then I sang with my country band for about 6 years. And then I invent things too.
And I did want to find out. Okay, so I saw that you were an inventor. What have you invented?
I invented something for Northrop Corporation. It's an aerospace corporation. I invented something like a template of some sort where they were using 3 or 4 tools to do one thing, and I turned it into one.
So,
which streamlined the entire process, and it's in my book. I'm going to be releasing my printing it hopefully soon. My autobiography.
Okay, and what's the name of your autobiography?
I Can Do Anything.
I thought that's what I read.
For a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's excellent, and just reading your website, I was like, I'm not going to remember all this. There was so much information out there that I couldn't. There's no way I grasped it all.
Yeah, understandable.
You've had an amazing life full of people that we only see on TV and in movies, and how do you my claim to fame is, hey, I was on Romper Room in New York when I was 5, and
I was just at the right place at the right time, Denise, to be quite honest. My sister was supposed to go up for this role, and she went into the room with the director and the producers and stuff. And my mom didn't have somebody to watch me that day. And I had to go to the ladies' room. I was only 18 months, but I walked into the room and said, "Mommy potty." Next thing I know, I was Robert Redford's daughter. Great. So it just went from there. Clint Eastwood. I grew up with Ron Howard and his brother Clint. Clint was my boyfriend. Their father was one of my acting coaches, Rance Howard, when I was a little girl. And then I have a TV series called The Monroes, which just recently was released for the very first time ever on DVD. And it was Kevin Costner's favorite TV show when he was growing up. So that was pretty cool, talking to him and finding that out. I thought I was very honored.
Well,
but I've done a lot. I really have.
You've had an amazing career, and I'd like to thank you so much for coming on. And I would like to have you back on again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, because these guys told me they could only do a half an hour, and then they show up late.
Well, I can't wait to friend them if they come into California. You know,
I
definitely got to get together and maybe go over to that Ontario Granada.
Yes.
You know, maybe we can conjure up some, you know, spirits.
for a
Woo!
Well,
few theaters lined up here because I have an idea. So that's one of them. And
There we go. And if you need any girls in your videos and they have to be drop dead gorgeous, I can name two of them, Darcy Donovan and Lorna Taylor Morris.
We're absolutely gonna.
We're filming next month.
Yeah,
So
we're absolutely.
Girls sell videos.
Look them up, both of them, Darcy Donovan and Lorna Taylor Morris.
Ron says he's shooting a video.
We'll definitely keep in touch. We'll chit
I may
chat.
have to use
Absolutely. Bye, guys. I got to get going. I'm going to be on in a few minutes.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and you have a great day.
See you
God
Thursday.
bless.
Jen.
Love y'all.
Take care.
So, well, I didn't expect that to be the case. So, hopefully, this was worth your guys' time.
Mhm.
I hope you had a great time.
Yeah.
And we've talked about where we can find you. I've shared all the video or all the links and stuff. I would love to talk to you guys sometime about paranormal, more in depth if possible. But, you know, I know that you guys are busy and hopefully you didn't get ripped off on your tire change or anything like that.
No.
So, and I really, truly do appreciate you guys coming on. This turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. From yesterday. Yes. I spent all day covering my rear.
Yeah, I didn't even get back to you. Yesterday was a fog for me. I didn't feel well.
I understand.
It's like I didn't do anything yesterday.
You know what? Don't worry about it. It all worked out the way it was meant to.
Is it always you two on this?
No.
Okay. So FJ, you're a guest as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frank, okay. So remember
Here's the story.
we were talking about mediums. I told Frank, I said, can you come on at 7 and be my guest host tonight? Because I have a feeling that this show's not going to go off the way I planned and that you guys were going to be late.
I actually had that feeling as well yesterday. Just letting you know.
So I just,
Intuition.
so basically I just covered my rear and made sure I had somebody so I didn't have dead air. Otherwise, I'd have to change the name of the show from the Paranormal Pride to Dead Air.
Well, no,
Hey, that worked. That would have been clever.
Dead air.
That's clever.
Denise didn't have any idea Tammy was going to be on till a couple days ago.
Actually, yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
So needless to say, things happen the way they're meant to happen. Everybody, it's no other. We're not supposed to sit here and try to figure out the reasons for everything. But apparently, Ghostatic and Tammy were supposed to meet, and thankful Frank and I were here to facilitate that.
Appreciate that.
Well, I have some questions for you guys too. We can do off the off this, but yeah, we'll talk.
But, we're more than willing to talk. It's just we're working on getting this broadcast to be on iHeartRadio, so I had to change the format of my show a little bit, and that's kind of where we are. So, yeah, we're pretty much done. So, you can wait here. When we hang up here, don't go anywhere. But hey, guys, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I hope you enjoyed
Check
this.
out our merchandise as well.
Yeah, we'll do a few
Please
plugs.
do it. Go for it.
Plugging. We are plugging.
All this merchandise at drum.io/Ghostatic, everything there, including this beanie I have on. This is not for sale, unfortunately, but we have one similar to it.
I'm not wearing it. Damn.
Yeah, we've got 3D printed ones. Merch is whatever.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you guys about something in particular, but yeah, we're playing a lot of shows out. If anybody's in the Toledo area in March, we're playing March 18th, Main Street. Mansfield, obviously, we'll be at Incarceration.
We'll be in New Orleans.
And in September, no dates confirmed. May 18th at the Foundry in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yep.
Well, guys, check it out and make sure you guys get with in here it's Bernard Weekend, but Bartell, he was going to send you that email that
and
that
follow
information.
Spotify and Apple Music or whatever you stream on. You just got to search Ghostatic. We're everywhere. All streaming
TikTok,
services,
Instagram, Facebook,
and social media.
and anything.
Like I said, I shared all those just to make sure that I had them all covered. They're also, like I said, on Facebook and YouTube in the description so that you guys can have everybody's links. Frank's is there as well. Frank, where can everybody find you?
Oh, my website. Just type Frank J. Bennett into the Google, and about most anything you want to know about me comes up.
Cool.
Yeah, don't
If you
click.
want to see me live next weekend, February 2nd and 3rd, I'm in Burbank, California for the Hollywood Show. Over 101 celebrities will be in attendance, and me, and some other vendors. The weekend after that, I'm in Baltimore, Maryland for Farpoint Science Fiction Convention. And a couple weeks after that, I am at Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida to do a panel. And I am also at the same time going to be in Atlanta for the Atlanta Comic Convention. Make plans to attend.
Busy man. I like that.
He's always busy, and so he's got a long story too. So join us here next Monday night at 7 p.m. Central for my guest. My guest is going to be Chuck Banks. He is a medium, an author, football coach, all kinds of stuff. Great guy, great friend. And tomorrow night, join us here at 5 p.m. Central on the Bill of Rights Network and on Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. And our guest is Primo Paranormal out of St. Louis, Missouri. They're friends of ours that are also volunteers at the famous McPike Mansion with us. And so we'll be talking about that. Plus, Bobby Adams is he's a hypnotherapist, and so it'll be interesting to hear about hypnotism.
A very good one.
So he's is he?
Yeah.
Bark.
No, he's really good.
He's really good. So if I start taking off my clothes, you know why. It means Ron put something in his head. So, but yeah, join us here and find us wherever you're finding podcasts these days. And hopefully you're going to find the Paranormal Pride and Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. Thank you guys and have a great night.
Take it easy.
Good night, everybody. Did it?